time-sensitive material. Why I'm asking you to take 3 minutes out of your life to read this, I'm not for sure. I'm eager to share good news, but I gain nothing by handing you this. You, on the other hand, could gain everything. This information could change your life. It can change mine. Here's what I discovered. I used to think God was out there, somewhere, and usually angry because of the messes of we make. I discovered that God is indeed angry about sin and its effect on people. But I found out so much more. He knows my name. He loves me more than I can imagine, and has a plan for me that gives me more adventure than I ever imagined. I used to think that I had to behave well for God to accept me. I discovered that God took care of my past bad behavior, all of it. He didn't just look the other way and pretend it was all that bad. He tailed up all of my sins and punished His only Son, Jesus, for every one of them. It was a hard solution to the biggest problem in the world, sin. By His sacrificial death, Jesus provided a clear path for me to get reconnected with God, and it didn't depend on my good behavior. Thank God. I used to think that being a Christian was boring. I discovered that having a personal relationship with God makes every day special. I can face it with fear because God is here. I make myself useful to those around me because that's the way to express my thanks to God. I get to hang out with other Christians. I discovered that they are my true friends. I used to think that being a Christian was having all my facts straight. I discovered that the essence of Christianity is a poor personal relationship with Jesus, God's Son. I used to think that all this talk of heaven was for people who couldn't get their act together on earth. I discovered that when I die, I will fully reunite with Jesus in a universe where there's no pain or tears or death. We call it heaven. And thankfully, it was nothing to do with clouds and harps, and everything to do with being in perfect companionship with the Creator of the universe. It involves getting a new physical body. Now you know why I want you to read this. It is an invitation to a new life and never ends. And while it's free, a response is required. You can have this new life. It's a free gift from God, signed and delivered by His Son, Jesus. All who accept and believe in Jesus become His brother and sisters permanently. Prayer is a good way to accept this gift. You may not understand how it all works, but you need to know that compassionate Jesus is ready to hear your prayers right now. So tell Him what you are thinking. Do you fear the future? Tell Him. Do you regret the past? Tell Him. Do you want to receive what He offers? Tell Him. If you want to learn more about Jesus, read the Gospel of Mark. You can find it in almost any motel room. One more thing. When you're done with this, you will be so kind to pass it on, or to leave it in a spot where it can be found and read by somebody else. Thanks. And Jesus loves you, and Jesus died for you.